What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Chance Bishop Show for episode 60 of our MLB The Show 24 Pittsburgh Pirates franchise mode here on the channel. We are in the Home Run Derby. It is the All-Star Game as a whole here in today's episode. The 2029 All-Star Game, to be more specific. It's season number 6 here of our Pirates franchise mode. Gal Schwarber is our lone home run derby representative. I think he's been our only ever home run derby representative. I don't think we've ever had anyone else, honestly. But Gal Schwarber, 453 career home runs. Definitely going to make a push for 500 next season. Hopefully he gets it. I really do hope Kyle does get to that 500 home run milestone. I think it'd be really funny. Kyle here has just about 500 home runs. I think he's only got about, and he's at 455, 453, I think it said. And he's only got like 1,600 hits. So, a quarter of his hits are home runs. So I don't think that's entirely accurate. It might be like 1,700. But I think his breakdown is like 16-something hits and 400-something home runs. So, Kyle, hopefully hits 500. Hopefully gets him in the Hall of Fame. But I understand how dumb this game is, that Kyle could clearly hit 500 home runs, and then the show will be like, no, that doesn't matter. Don't care. You don't have 2,000 hits. The same way, a pitcher can't get into the Hall of Fame unless they have 200 wins and 3,000 strikeouts, which is asinine to talk about that. This game can't figure out how to get people in the Hall of Fame. But I don't know. Why can't just be some simple algorithm that gets them in, where they have to have like, okay, do you have 3 of 4, or how many of these things you have checked off, or even like a Hall of Fame tracker on players. Like you have a Hall of Fame tracker in the show, right? But I guess you're talking about, then you have to program it for each and every player. But it can't, in theory, can't be that hard to just make a franchise mode style Hall of Fame tracker and then just apply it to every player. It can't be that hard to do. But then again, hear me out. I'm not a programmer. I don't know how hard something like that would even happen, but I don't know. I think it's just the game needs to take a step forward. And I think, speaking of that, the show 25 has been, kind of like quietly released, air quotes, released. There's been some details released about it. And they're, it's a next-gen exclusive, or you can't even call it next-gen exclusive. It's current-gen exclusive now. And you have all the people that are complaining about, oh, well, I'm not getting a PS5, or I'm not getting a Series X or a Series S. And it's just kind of like, okay, well, then don't play the game. And then they came out and goes, okay, well, now that it's current-gen exclusive, it's no longer be on Game Share. So then all the people that, would play it, and would only get it because it's free, like, I'm not paying for this game. Okay, well, that's fine. Guess what? The show 25 comes out. It's going to be on the channel here, guys. We're going to have the show 25 content. As soon as we get the roster updates that have all the players, that's going to have Roki Sasaki on it. It's going to have the guy the Phillies brought in. It's going to have, even like the minor league prospects. And, the first round draft picks in this past draft. We're going to have all those guys in it. That's when we're going to start our franchise. When all those updates come out. Just like every year for franchise, for Road to the Show. And hopefully, with it being now on current gen, hopefully they can bring back some features like year-to-year saves, where then the guys that do work on the rosters, they create all of the custom rosters with all the custom players on it, They put the custom free agents in it and the custom international free agents in it. Hopefully those guys can get back to just being able to have to add a couple players or tweak a couple things. So instead of it taking, till July to have a series of rosters come out, you can have it come out. Let's see, what does it come out? It comes out April, March. No, it comes out March. So instead of it coming out, it comes out in April instead of, July. So you cut down all of the time just based off of, things just working properly. And, not having to rely on building whole rosters from the ground up, because who wants to build whole rosters from the ground up for 32 teams, and you're talking about 90-ish players, not counting the game players already in the game, and you had to edit them to give them the right pitches, and yeah, there's a lot to do. A lot to do for creating these rosters that, we're playing on even currently for the show 24. That's why this series took so long to come out. We ain't started producing this series till July, and that has a lot to do with it. Just, waiting for a new set of rosters to come out that has the right players on it, that had, Yoshinobu Yamamoto on it. We wait for half the season to be over before you even start a franchise mode here on the channel. But, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a good product that, you want to be proud of before you start producing something. You don't want to come in here and start a series and it's like, okay, here's my Pirates series, but we're missing, they're not going to be missing Paul Skenes, but we're missing, Ashcraft, we're missing, we're missing Salametto, we're missing, Mitch Jebb, you're missing different players. You don't want to have, series where it's like, okay, I want to play with this player, I want to build a team around this guy, because I know Connor Griffin wasn't in the game. Like, Connor Griffin was entirely added, and, we were able to add, like Charlie Condon. We added Charlie Condon to this. We had to add Nick Kurtz to this series. So Nick Kurtz is on the rosters. Charlie Condon's here. Not here in Pittsburgh, but, he's with the Rockies, I want to say. Travis Bazana, Bamboozle. Travis, the guy, the second baseman, the Guardians drafted. Yeah, that guy. He's on the Guardians. So I don't think we were able to get all of them, but we were able to get a good amount of them, and just get them onto the teams they belonged on. So hopefully it works. I mean, if we start the series before the draft comes out, fine. You get the series before the draft comes out. You don't have the draftees on the team. Fine. There's no issues. And then none of the teams have the drafted players on them. It's just how it works. But then if you have, before it comes out after the draft, okay, well, you can add those guys. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking on the top of my head right now as we go through this episode. But we are 60 episodes deep into this series officially now. Have about 40-ish left, give or take. So hopefully we can end this series off on a high note here for the next 40-ish episodes of our Pittsburgh Pirates franchise mode here as Kyle Schwarber wins the home run derby. Love that defeat Keston Hiura of the Arizona Diamondbacks there. Good old Kyle Schwarber. Love to see that right there for the big fella. Absolutely swinging that thing out there. And definitely did not take any prisoners here in St. Louis. But actually now getting into the actual All-Star game itself, here we go. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber actually didn't make the All-Star game, which is, I've never seen that before. He made the home run derby, but he didn't make the All-Star game. He's not on the All-Star roster. I've never seen that before. Usually you have to be on the roster to be on the derby roster. But I don't know how they did that, why they did that, but he's not on the roster. I was not able to put Kyle Schwarber on the roster here for the 2029 All-Star Game. He's just not there, which is absolutely crazy, by the way. That he's a home run derby participant, but can't play in the actual home run, the actual All-Star game. Because Kyle Schwarber, the leadoff guy here. You know how Kyle Schwarber is, leadoff designated hitter. We got Dylan Cruz though. It's kind of like Kyle Schwarber. They both technically play the same position. Cruz though, out there in left field. We do have Paul Skenes on the mound here, 14 and 4, 2.56 ERA. So Skenes has fallen to earth a little bit right there. 4 losses and no decision in 19 games started. 30% strikeout rate, 6% walk rate, 167 punch outs here at the Midsummer Classic. So definitely well along the way to another 200 strikeout season. And hopefully having himself another Cy Young caliber season, which, I mean, any season with Paul Skenes is a Cy Young caliber season, especially, when you're striking out 250 plus batters a season. Juan Soto up now. Here you go, big fella. That one's driven the right. That one's going to be caught by Acuna on the run. That's going to end the inning there. 1-2-3 first for Skenes. Dylan Cruz, he leads off the first here. 2-2 count. That one's down the right field line. That one's going to get down. Takes a couple off the right field wall. And there you go. A leadoff double there off of Zach Gallen for Dylan Cruz. Good old Dylan Cruz. On now, top of the second here. Skenes taking on Yordan Alvarez, and Alvarez strikes out, swinging there. Big out number 1 here. Third punch out of the game for Skenes. Tristan Cassis up now. 1-2 count. Grounder to Ellie De La Cruz. De La Cruz has it. Rifling it across the diamond in time for out number 2. So 2 outs now here in the second inning. Up comes Gunnar Henderson. 1-2 count to Gunnar. Gunnar grounds that one to Terang. And Bryce Terang over to first in time for out number 3. On to the third now. Jared Jones out to pitch. 19 games, 12-2 on the season, a 2.18 ERA, a 30% strikeout rate, 2.18 ERA, 113 innings pitched right there. So Jared Jones and Paul Skenes, definitely the 1-2 combo that leads this pitching staff here in Pittsburgh. So there you go, out number 1, ground out of Ryan Mountcastle to the shortstop Ellie De La Cruz. Shea Langeliers, the catcher up, and Langeliers pops this one up. Alonso has it, foul territory, he's underneath of it, makes the grab, and there you go for the Polar Bear. Out number 2. So 2 outs now here in the inning. Up comes Travis Bazzana, there you go, we were just talking about him. He strikes out on the fastball, and that's going to end the third there. 1-2-3 goes to the American League, and we're on now to the top of the 4th. Right, top of the 4th? Top of the 4th, I think. All right, Dylan Cruz. Bottom of the 3rd, actually. I was nowhere close. How do we get to top of the 4th? Dylan Cruz strikes out. Bottom of the 3rd there. All now, Forrest Whitley out of the pen here. 47 games. 41 saves in by the All-Star game. 41 for 44 in saves. A 1.67 ERA. A 26% strikeout rate here. Here in the top of the 9th, we are down. The National League is down by 2. Strikes out the first batter. Vladdy drives that one deep right field, high, deep, and gone. Solo shot there, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Yeah, Forrest Whitley does not have the lead clearly. Doesn't seem like he has that same bite on his off-speed pitches there. Kind of the joys of having Forrest Whitley as your closers. He doesn't have a straight fastball. So you gotta think, batters aren't really expecting, splitters and the assortment of pitches here. So there you go, big strikeout of Akil Baddoo. So good to see Akil Baddoo having an all-star campaign. Emmanuel Rodriguez of the Twins pops this one up. Left field line makes the grab, and on now the bottom half of the 9th. Hopefully the National League can rally suit. They don't. The American League wins this one. That's unfortunate. American League wins this one. Player of the game goes to Bryson Stott of all people. 1-for-1 home run, 2 RBIs there. Hader gets the win. Camilo Duvall, he is the one that kind of cramped the bet on that one. Two home run, 2 runs allowed. Take a look at those who got traded at the trade deadline here. We were not really doing anything at the trade deadline, which is kind of what this team does. But thanks on YouTube, though. Peace out. Rock on. Stay super classy. Catch next episode here on the channel.